welcome to No Bad Vibes TV, and it's me, Chris the Enlightened. And you know what? Right now, I'm off of work. I had a long day. I stood up on my feet all freaking day. But anyway, on the bright side, uh, right now we're gonna talk about pretty much unconditional love versus like conditional love. You know what I'm saying? And what brought this idea up? Oh, for the people viewing my page for the first time, I am Chris NDE, aka Chris the Enlightened, aka the Muffin Man, aka Man of the Hour, aka Man in the Shower. So, I am an NDEer, had a near-death experience, met my guardian angels, pretty much, yeah, like I crossed over, I have felt God's love. My videos basically talk about that. This whole thing was wild. Oh, I don't have my little No Bad Vibes band because I left it in the room and I'm kind of too lazy to get it. But anyway, I just want to say, without the wristband, I'm still No Bad Vibes. But no, seriously, I want to say, so yeah, that was basically an introduction for my first time viewers and stuff like that. Pretty much of a introduction to who I am. So, what we're going to talk about now is basically, I was walking to work last week, like last Thursday, I believe, and pretty much, I had got an idea from my guides, guardian angels, what have you, and pretty much they kind of had popped an idea in my head, and they were like, hey, how come it is that you're going to work and like you notice all these people, and it's like, if I could paint the picture, here's a street of the people, and then here's like cars parked on the side, then here's cars on the other side, and they're all dropping off their kids and stuff like that. And they all had nice cars. I'm sure they had jobs. They looked important and busy, like they had a bunch of stuff to do, you know. And like my guide on this side was like, hey, you notice how all these people, actually no, let me just say exactly word for word what he said. He goes, notice all these people. I was like, okay, yeah, what about them? So then I see this one, the guide on this side was like, hey, they all have jobs and cars. So then they both just start talking to me and telling me, they're like, you see how these people, they respect you more. That they're like, look at your name tag. And I'm showing them my name tag, you know. Well, they not showing them my name tag, but they see my name tag. I don't want to sound crazy, but yeah, so they're looking at my name tag and they're like, oh, you know, like all these people respect you because you work at the school, and like, you know, you have a job and you're coming to work sober and you're not strung out on drugs and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, of course. And they're like, they're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, why is it that people look at you and they're like, oh, you have a job, they respect you. If you didn't have a job, they will look at you and say, like, if you had a job and you were strung out, like, on drugs, and you were just, like, just on the street without a job and all that, they will look at these sober, normal, like, functional people will look at you way differently than they would if you didn't, like, you know, if you didn't have a job. Like, and I thought about it, I'm like, so yeah, I thought about it, and I'm like, you guys are right. So I'm like, why is it that I get so much respect and everybody, oh, hey, Mr. Chris, how you doing? How you doing? Would it be the same? Oh, they're laughing and smiling with me. Would it be the same reaction if I was strung out on drugs on that same street, while these same normal working people were at work, are dropping their kids off and headed to work? No, it would not be like that. They would look at me like this, oh, and they would tell their kids not to talk to me. This person's homeless. This person's on drugs. That's conditional love. My guides reminded me that if God were to talk, if God looks at us, he sees all of us the same. So it sucks that being humans or spirits in this human experience that you know, we see each other different, and I guess I'm sort of guilty of it too. You know, we all are. You know, and we all might say, hey, this person doesn't have a job. Why don't they get their ass up and look for work? Never really know the circumstances, but they made a good point. It does make me wonder why a lot of people see you differently just because you have a job or just because you have money and BMWs and all that type stuff. You know, and me taking the bus to work, they still respect me like, oh, you have a job. You're not on drugs. You're sober. Like, oh my God. That kind of, I mean, I get it. I get we need money to live in life. We need money. We need a house. We have to have a job. We have to go to work sober so we can be clear-minded of what we're doing. And in me, I work with kids, so it's more like I don't really have the luxury to, and mind you, special ed kids at that, I don't really have the luxury to just be strung out. So, you know, but what it is, it's like parents see me so much different than they would if I were strung out and stuff like that. You know, or on the street wearing the same clothes every day, and I didn't look clean and what have you. And it kind of does suck that the world is like that, so like divided, you know, and we're seen differently, we're categorized, and I guess that's like that conditional love. But I guess I'm just here to remind you guys that source, like God in the sky, he loves us more than anything, and whether you're strung out or not, he still loves you the same. A lot of people actually think that, in one of my future videos, I'm going to bring this up about drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. Some people think that when you do like drugs and alcohol, you move farther from God, but a lot of people, hard as it is to believe, I know a lot of religious people are going to totally disagree. Or not even religious, but there's a lot of people who might totally disagree. But I am Christian enlightened. I say what the fuck I feel. So I know that there's a lot of people that, you know, they get closer to God when they're in their zone. You can't really judge someone like ever, because you don't know how close they are to God, strung out or not, because God has unconditional love. So it's like the difference between his love and our love is more like we love to a condition. If you're like this and you're like this, I'll respect you the same, I'll love you the same. God's like, forget all that. God's like, forget all that. I still love you the same, and you're still in my heart, the same way as a strung out person is, and the working class person that wakes up every day and stuff like that. I have a lot of stories to tell you guys about stuff I've experienced, even for those of you that have read my book, Boom, The Life and Times of a Near-Death Experiencer. Link will be in the description. Life and Times of a Suicide Near-Death Experiencer. Link will be in the description. I brought up actually how experiences I've had with addiction and stuff like that. And, you know, basically, God and my angels are still with me every step of the way. I'm not going to give too much information out because I don't know when I'm going to do these type of videos, but I am going to do them. I promise you I am. So basically, I guess I just want to tell you guys to have that unconditional love, or try to. We're humans, like we're in the human body, so it's harder for us than it would be for like God, or for Source and God and angels and other spiritual, you know, people and stuff like that. But just try to keep that love in your heart. If a person is strung out or not, treat them the same. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between unconditional love versus like conditional. We love conditional. God loves unconditional. Whether you're religious, whether you're not religious, he still loves us. Whether you're on drugs and you're still looking for God, whether you're addicted to alcohol, you're still looking for God, he still loves you. God, Source, still loves you. So no matter what these religious people tell you, his love is not conditional. It's unconditional. With that being said, I just want to thank all my subscribers. I'm getting ready for IONS 2019 this time next week. Like, basically, in other words, the next video I put out will be after my IONS appearance. Which, for those of you that don't know, IONS is International Association of Near-Death Studies. What that is an organization that it's based on near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences, and people are into that. Like, they want to know what happens after death. People like me have experienced it. I mean, hence my book, Boom, Life and Times of a Suicide Near-Death Experiencer. I'm a suicide survivor. You know, so I've been to the other side, met my angels, and felt God. The whole thing was wild. But so yeah, with that being said, I just want to remind you guys, love unconditional, uh, and Source loves you. So let's try to love each other like that. Jesus loves you. You know what I mean? I mean, all of they love you. You know, so and it's unconditional. No matter what you're going through, they love you. So uh, keep that in mind. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Stay weird. Stay different. And shoot, man. Pretty much, I think that's all I need to really touch on right now. So I guess that being said, it's no bad vibes. Keep that love in your heart. Stay weird. Stay different. Be different again. Stay weird again. It's no bad vibe. Oh, and it's all love, man. No bad vibes. And we are out of here.